Hello and welcome to the demonstration of APPSeCONNECT. In today's demonstration, I will be showcasing the integration between Magento and Dynamics GP by using our product APPSeCONNECT. So here in our portal.appseconnect.com, I have configured the integration points, all the mapping, all the configuration have set up here in our portal.appseconnect.com using this process flow designer. So I will start off with the customer synchronization. If you notice that I have configured the customer sync from Magento to GP direction. So here I will be starting off with this and I will create a new customer in the Magento front end side first of all, and then I will synchronize it from Magento to GP direction. To create a customer, I have opened the front end page and let me put up all the details regarding the customer, like the first and last name, and then I will add an unique email ID for this customer. For every customer, a duplicate check will be on this on the top of this email section. So with the same email ID, you cannot have multiple customers. So a duplicate check will be on this. So if the email ID is present already, it will not sync again. So there is no chances of duplicate scenario at all. So I have created the customer. Now I'm going to the address book where I can add different billing shipping addresses for this one. Okay, so I'm adding the dummy information. And let me add the state. A zip code should be the mandatory one and that should be the valid one. Okay, so I have added the city, state, and let me just add the phone number here and save this. So I have saved this address as a default one, so I can use for both billing shipping purposes, but you can add different billing shipping address also. Now I'm going to the portal.appseconnect.com in this process flow section to execute this process flow. Right now I'm doing it manually, but you can schedule it like that can be scheduled on the basis of customers requirement. It can be scheduled minutely, hourly and daily basis. Like if you set up 5 minutes, so data will synchronize for every 5 minutes, and you don't have to manually trigger the data. And the minimum time will be 1 minute for the auto synchronization, and you also can do this in daily basis. Like you can set up a time for daily basis. Every day on that particular time the data will synchronize automatically. So if you notice, it shows that the process flow execution end with success. That means the data has successfully synchronized. Now I'm going to the Dynamics GP part and let me just open the customer page. And let me find the customer with the name. So here is the customer which I have created in the Magento side. Right now it is successfully present in the Dynamics GP side. Let me just open this. And if you notice, all the details which I have mentioned for this customer all are present right now in the Dynamics GP direction, like the address, city, state, zip code, the phone number, the name, everything's are mentioned here. So I have added only the default fields, including this. If someone wants to add some other information, so if the APIs are present, we can do the mapping. So in our process flow designer, we can add up the logic as well. So here we have so many properties available. We can add up the logic, we can add up the filter. So suppose like this customer synchronization can be done bidirectionally as well. Like if you have any existing customer present in the Dynamics GP direction, those existing customer can be synchronized with Magento as well. And for the synchronization, if you want to add any kind of filter, that can be possible. Like if it will match up with the filter only, then the data will synchronize, otherwise not. So that kind of functionalities, that kind of configuration we can do by using our process flow designer. So the customer synchronization is done successfully. Now I'm going to the next integration point, that will be item sync. And as I have showcased the customer sync from Magento to GP, so I will be creating an item right now in the different direction, or I say the reverse direction. Like I will be creating an item in the GP side and then I will sync it from GP to Magento side. Let me just go to the GP's direction to create an item. So I'm going to the inventory page, and under the items tab, let me create a new item here. Okay, so I'm adding the description. And other details like as a short description and other information. Let me choose an class ID. So I have added one class ID here. And thereafter I'm adding the weight and the standard cost. So I think I have added all the mandatory fields. Let me just save this. So the item is created here. Now I'm going to the portal.appseconnect.com and let me go to the item synchronization process flow. So here is the process flow for product sync. Let me just execute this. So the process flow is started, and once the synchronization is done, I can check the result over here, and the details regarding the synchronization I can also track. So I think the process flow is executed successfully. Let me show where where you can see the result of the synchronization. From this environment tab, you can check out the result, like as a details whether the success and failure messages, and if any failure occurred, you can directly check out the error details over here, so you can rectify the error and resync the data again. Let me just open this environment tab. So you can check the result of the synchronization. As I said that here the success and failure messages will be showcased, and based on the timestamp you can track the details. So here you can find out all the details regarding the synchronization in this activity log page. Here you can track the details regarding the synchronization. So if any error occurred, the error can be rectified easily. So now as I have seen that the item is successfully synchronized, I'm going back to the Magento admin panel and to check whether the item is sync or not. So right now I'm in the product page or the backend in the Magento side, and let me just add the SKU here like as a filter, and here is the item which I have created in the GP direction. It is successfully present here in the Magento side with all the details which I have mentioned, like the product name, SKU, prices, and if I scroll down, the weight which I have mentioned. If I scroll down here in the content tab, I can check the description thing. If you want to synchronize it, that is also possible. So right now I have added only the default fields over here. So the SKU, product name, which I have added only, these are visible. But apart from this, if someone wants to like some other information like the categories or attribute and that thing, those information also can be mapped easily. So whenever we are synchronizing an item directly from the GP to Magento direction, we can assign that item under the catalog, or as I say, the category page or attribute. So you can do the entire process by using one application. So that kind of configuration we can do, and as well with this default features or default fields, if someone wants to add some other information and if the APIs are present for those fields, we can map the data. And this also a bidirectional process, like sometimes we have seen that customer do maintain their item details in their Magento side, and they would like to synchronize it from Magento to GP direction. So this can be done both way. So based on the customer requirement and choices, we will do the mapping and the configuration. So as I have seen that the customer is successfully synced and the item, so I will update the inventory. So for this item, the quantity is blank right now. So I'm going to the Dynamics GP site to update the quantity for this item. For updating the inventory for this item, I have to assign the sites first, which is the mandatory details for adding the quantity for an item. So let me just assign the sites and choose a default site ID. So I think I have added all these details. Now I'm going to the inventory tab or item transaction tab. Okay, so I have opened the item transaction entry tab. Let me just find out the item number first. So here is my item, and let me choose the other details which is mandatory for updating the quantity. So I have added all the details and I have put up the quantity, that's 123, and let me just post this. So the inventory is posted, and now I'm going to the process flow. Except this process flow, we have another deployment model, that is this another component, as I said, that is this APPSeCONNECT agent, and this is a small piece of software, and this will be installed the Dynamics GP Servo. So we can do the entire integration by using this agent as well. So I have showcased the customer and item sync from process flow, and for the synchronization of the inventory I will be using this APPSeCONNECT agent. And if you notice, as I was telling about the scheduler, we can do the scheduler thing here. I will just set this in 1 minute, and let me just save this and make it as a auto sync. So once the synchronization is done, after 1 minute it will be reflected in the Magento direction with the updated details. With this inventory update, we also can create item update details. Like in future, if the if few details are updated in one direction, we can do the update from GP to Magento side also. And but for that we need one more integration point, that will be item update. As of now I have configured the item add and inventory update, but if you want to update any details for item, on that case we have to create one more integration point, that will be item update. And that can be done, and that can be also bidirectional possible. Like either you can choose the Magento GP direction for updating the details, or you can choose the GP to Magento direction. Okay, so I guess the inventory is done. I just need to go to the backend of the Magento and refresh this item to get the updated details. So let me just refresh it. Yeah, so you can see the quantity which we have mentioned, like this 123 for this item, which is present here with the stock updated stock status. Previously it was out of stock, as I have updated the quantity, so it shows that in stock. So the inventory update is done. Now I'm going to the front end of the Magento, where I logged in as a customer, and let me find out the item over here so that I can place an order for that specific item. So here is the item which I have created in the GP side. Right now it is present in the Magento direction. Now I'm moving it to the cart so I can place an order on behalf of the customer which we have already synchronized. We also do support the guest customer scenarios, like if the guest customer places the sales order, those information can be synchronized as well. So for placing an order, I need to add the shipping method, and like the shipping charges. As of now, I'm using the flat rate as this is a demo environment, but in the real world scenario, there are so many different type of shipping method we use, and those details can be mapped. Like the amount will be calculated with the main amount of the sales order, and the method name, if you want to synchronize, that can be synchronized as well. Moving to the next, so I can add the payment details. So right now I'm using this cash on delivery as this is a demo environment, but for the real world scenario we may have different type of payment details, like the debit card, credit card, and other options are available. So payment method name, the transaction ID, and the status, those information also can be synchronized with the sales order in between this two application. So let me just place this order, and once it is done, I'm going to the process flow of the sales order so I can synchronize uh, the sales order from Magento to GP direction. So the order is placed. Now I'm going to the process flow page. So I have opened the order ad, and now let me just execute this, and this thing can be also done from this agent. Like if I want to synchronize the details directly from this agent, so for that case I have to just start this order ad integration point to start the synchronization. So there are two way, either I can do the entire process from this process flow part, or we can use this or utilize this APPSeCONNECT. So now I'm going to the sales transaction entry, and let me open the sales order. So I'm finding out with the customer name. So here is the sales order. Let me open this. So here you can see all the details which we have mentioned for the sales order, like the line item information, the shipping charges, taxes, for the customer details, customer name, everything which we have mentioned for the sales order, those are showing below. And here is the other details, like the shipping address, the tax, everything is set up, and the details are showing here with the the shipping charges is calculated with the total, and it's showing the details over here. So as for the sales order also, if you would like to add some other information including the default fields, that is also possible. And apart from this, right now we have configured only this four integration point, but including this, if someone wants to add some other information, that can be done. Like if I talk about the shipment also can be done. Like we can convert the sales order into shipment or invoice in the Dynamics GP direction, and we can update the status in the Magento side with the document as well. Right now if you check the status for this sales order will be pending or something, yeah. So once the shipment is done, it will change the status from pending to processing. Once the invoice is done, it will convert it from processing to completed. So that status change, that document update for shipment and invoice is also can be configured. As of now, we have configured this for integration point, and the stuffs can be done based on the customer's requirement. So if you have any other question related with this integration details, you can reach out with us over email. Thank you so much.